UFO Headline News with me, Heidi Hollis. Today is Thursday, January 4th, 2018. Blasting off with some wonderful UFO reports. This one took place in Oswestry, England. This occurred December 28th, 2017. In brief, the witness states this object glittered like Venus, but wrong time of day and moved. Bright random colors moved left to right, faded out. In more detail, the witness states, I spotted this small, distant, iridescent sphere whilst, they said whilst, standing in my garden. I have an open garden surrounded by nearby, okay, I'm gonna quit, open countryside with a great view of the sky. I live alone and pop out into the garden to look for interesting objects several times every night. This glittering star-like object immediately caught my eye because it was out of place. It was low over the neighboring rooftops at about 40 to 45 degrees altitude. The sky was clear without any visible cloud cover. As I watched, I realized that it was moving slowly and steadily in a southerly direction, thus no planet or star. I watched for a minute or so and then took a chance by running in to grab my binos. I think those are binoculars, which were directly behind the door. To my relief, it was still there and visible when I returned. The binos made it even harder to focus. It was just like a spherical mass of random swirling colors. It then faded out, as they often do. Given the low positioning in the sky, the fading out could possibly be attributed to a low cloud bank. I live directly under a major UK flight path, including nearby Manchester Airport. I know all civilian and military aircraft. Frequently watch and ID visible satellites on my phone, and am familiar with the celestial constellations. In other words, this person knows their stuff. I regularly visit military air shows, am 59 years of age, and used to be a member of the local, now folded, UFO club. This was just the kind of thing I hope to see when I go out into my garden all year round. It was something very unusual. Well, all right, touche. That's interesting. Okay, the next UFO sighting. Oh, my goodness, this name. I'm going to slaughter this one. UFO sighting in Kaunakakai, Hawaii. Kaunakakai? I believe so. All right. This occurred January 1st of this year, 2018. 3 people observed an unidentifiable object floating across the sky, then disappearing. In more detail, they state New Year's 12:25-ish a.m. in Kaunakakai, Hawaii. Right after the neighborhood finished the 20-minute-long fireworks show in Ranch Camp, I was alerted by my father to go look out in the sky. What the F is that? I'm quoting. I was followed outside by my mother to the south side of the house. We witnessed a bright red-orange object floating eastbound, approximately 500 to 1,000 feet off the ocean. It did not have any blinking lights and was just kinda a steady, brilliant glow. My father and I both agree it was probably doing less than 100 miles per hour. My mother and father are both skeptics when it comes to such things, yet neither of them could process a skeptic's response to what we were seeing. All right. I continued on an eastern path for maybe 1 minute, then slowly turned south for 30 seconds or so, then slowly vanished. I was able to get some crappy cell video of it. I'm sure dozens of people had to have seen it, as everyone was still bringing in the new year. I am telling you guys, I don't know if you've noticed, this has been pretty darn consistent with the fireworks celebration for the new year. Lots and lots of UFO sightings. Maybe they're just kind of like a bug to a flame and they just want to see the pretty lights, or maybe they like fireworks. Who knows? Moving on, UFO sighting in Palm Coast, Florida. This occurred January 1st, 2018. Glowing objects flying with them fireworks. Look at this. See again. Then hover across sky, then head out into clouds. In more detail, they say looking at fireworks. Also looking for cat that was attacked by dog and smoking a cigarette after watching the ball drop. I'm imagining it in my head. Glowing balls seemed to be ash embers floating. They kept flying, then shot away into the clouds. My thoughts were no BS, just mind trick. Then thought, no way. The mind trick is to believe these were just glowing embers. Oh, I like that. That was a flipperoo. Then shot up through the clouds and away. 4 balls changed direction and flew away through clouds. Spew! Okay. And the next UFO sighting. This occurred in Malabar, Florida. This occurred December 31st, 2017. In brief, the witness states, falling down. Large orange glow. Fought gravity. Moved left and right. Up, down, then burned out. In more detail, I'm not kidding, they put bomb fire, like somebody threw a bomb. They mean bonfire. In Malabar, Florida, with 3 other people. I always skywatch. It was a full moon. I saw an orange object, kind of large for a meteor. I yelled for everyone to look. It headed toward Earth, heading into atmosphere. It slowed. Fraught the atmosphere. Fraught? Moved right, then left, then backwards, all the while getting smaller. It again moved left and seemed to either flame out or reserved out of the atmosphere. It lasted about 1 minute and 50 seconds. That's pretty specific. We were all amazed, trying to understand the way it was moving and wondering, what logical answer would there be for that kind of decisive movement? When it finally disappeared, I started to go online to see if there were any other sightings. The end. This next UFO sighting, Black Triangle sighting in Bemis Point, New York. This is a UFO blast from the past. This occurred July 10th, 2012. In more details, saw a triangle shape 1/2 mile out over Chautauqua Lake. Very bright and slowly shrunk in size until it disappeared. I and another fisherman saw a triangle-shaped light 1/2 mile out over Chautauqua Lake while we were on my boat dock. It was a very clear, and the light was big, over 100 feet and about 1,000 feet above the water. The object slowly dissipated from the bottom until it disappeared into a point. My wife observed the same thing from her car about 1 mile away. Ooh, interesting validation. The next, not UFO sighting, an alien encounter. This happened here in Chicago, Illinois, right where I'm at. Wow, December 26, 2017. Alien manifestation in photo. My daughter, while visiting the Shed Aquarium at Chicago, Illinois, while snapping many photos of aquatic animal life, later showed me the photos, and I found the following anomaly. Within the attached photos, it clearly shows a manifesting alien being with an aura surrounding the being located behind her approximately 4 to 6 feet distance. The photo appears to show its eyes and mouth. Dun, dun. Okay, moving on. UFO sighting in Kursk Oblast. This happened January 1st, 2018. It is looking like star at first and suddenly disappeared and glow again. It goes down an upward direction. In more detail, the witness states, I'm living in Kursk, Russia. Wow. Today, January 1st, 2018, exactly 12 a.m., we all celebrate New Year in the place where we all celebrate all festival. That sounds like a Google translation. We finished the celebration on the way to home. I and two others saw the light glow straight in the sky while walking. First I thought, it's a star, then it disappear. After some minutes, it appears again. Changing direction upward and downward, and disappeared again. Me and two guys witnessed it. Let me know if anyone witnessed the same. This next UFO sighting in Eureka, California. It happened on January 1st, 2018. Well, January 1st was a busy day. Flying then split into two. In more detail, the witness states, I was locking up my truck and looked into the sky and noticed an orange light, almost like a plane heading north to south. It stood out to me with the object being hazy, moving faster than a plane, and no flashing lights. It seemed like the object had some lights on the front of it and was moving over twice the speed of an airplane at that altitude. I stood there watching it to see if it was a plane for about 3 minutes. Then all of a sudden split into two and rocketed away from each other, going east and west at a high rate of speed. After it split, it was no longer visible. I remained looking in the general vicinity after another minute to see if it would appear, but the objects never reappeared. The next UFO sighting happened in Burlington, Washington. This happened January 1st, 2018. In brief, they state, bright orange star-like, but much brighter, floating into formation, then what seemed like they left one at a time away from me as their magnitude dropped away. Okay. In more detail, they say, going to work, and at 2:54 a.m. on New Year's Day morning, I had just left the house and saw four bright orange lights that looked to be about 40 degrees, 5 miles away in the very clear sky. I am 44 years old, amateur astronomer for years, own an 8-inch and 15-inch reflector telescope that I ground, polished, figured, and built myself. What? Wow, I've never heard of that. I share this info to give me some sort of credibility in my sky observation skills. Yeah, take that, Mr. deGrasse Tyson. Pfft, he says we're not qualified to look at the sky, just so you know. The bright orange lights were silent. Jet sound helicopter lights were hovering toward another till one by one they diminished in size as if they were traveling away from me. Flares and fireworks out of the question. This was truly my first experience with UFOs. My first thoughts were flares, but ruled that out fairly quickly after the motions were being controlled. Well, that's all I got. Thank you. Well, that wasn't very detailed. Okay. The next UFO sighting occurred in Palm Bay, Florida on December 31st, 2017. In brief, the witness states, a strange light at night, no sound, light faded, and could see an object before disappearing altogether. In more detail, they state, I went outside on my back porch to smoke and read my novel. My porch is screened in. While reading, I just happened to glance up and saw an unusual orange-yellow light that appeared to be moving. I stepped out of the screened-in porch to get a better view. The light was definitely moving across the sky and appeared to flicker, becoming brighter, then softer a few times before fading and then going out. When this light faded, I saw an object. It was dark outside, and this thing was pretty far away, but it appeared to be spherical in shape, was dark gray or black in color, and seemed to move effortlessly. It made no noise that I could discern and had
Progressive presents Get Pumped. Inspiration to help you do insurance stuff.
Hey, get your head in the game. This ain't no exhibition match. This is for real. You've got a house to insure, and there are no excuses because Progressive's Home Quote Explorer makes it easier than ever to get the coverage you need. Here's some music to get you pumped. Dum chugga 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 meow meow meow. Dum chugga chugga chugga. Feel that confidence? Dum chugga chugga chugga. Did I say stop saving money? No. Dum chugga 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 meow meow.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
no other lights on or around it. Truthfully, I thought this object may have been a helicopter at first, but when the light faded and I saw the object against the sky, I really had no idea what it could have been. Now, this happened today, which is New Year's Eve, and yes, there were fireworks around. Here goes the fireworks again. But I know fireworks. They do not fly above your house and disappear over the horizon. This thing was not a firework. It was unlike anything I have ever seen before and did scare me for a moment, especially after its light faded out and I could still see, quote, it moving along the sky silently. After the light faded, I could only track it for a second or two as it moved toward the horizon. I lost track of it due to it being so dark outside and the object having no color or other lights on or around it. After it vanished, I stood for a moment to collect myself, went back in the screen porch, and sat down for a few minutes to try and think, asking myself, did I really just see what I just saw? This can't be happening to me. But it did. And I know what I saw was there and was real, and that I do not know what it was. Welcome to the party. The next UFO sighting, Black Triangle sighting in Quincy, Washington. This happened December 31st, 2017. 3 blue-white lights in a triangle. In more detail, same as last night. Orbs in the sky, hovering, then making sharp turns and wave-like movements. Observed over a field. Object still there at present time, flickering blue-white, ascending and descending 90 degrees, turns, and all of a sudden stops and does not move for a short period. Righty. The next UFO sighting happened in Naguabo. Okay, this is Puerto Rico. December 31st, 2017. Cigar-shaped UFO in Naguabo, Puerto Rico. That is interesting. Cigar-shaped UFO in Puerto Rico, Naguabo. Took photos looking at north and northwest. Found the object after reviewing the photos on my computer. Ooh. The next UFO sighting. This occurred in Tennessee, December 18th, 2017. Fireball at mid-tree level, then disintegrated. In more detail, the witness states, strange things have happened to me since I was diagnosed with cancer at age 8. But the specific night, something happened extremely close, and I've tried to figure it out, and I just cannot. I was on the phone with my mother standing outside on my porch. I saw something right in front of me, and even told my mother that I thought I just saw a shooting star or something. I brushed it off and went inside and started thinking about what I had just seen and at what level it happened. I went back outside to retrace what had happened. I know the object I saw looked like a bright fireball, and when it got to the power line or tree, I couldn't tell until the next morning, I knew it had either vanished out of thin air or hit something and dissipated. I played it over and over in my mind that night and looked up what it could have been, but nothing explained what I saw. I really thought it had hit the power line, but then I noticed a chunk out of the tree at the same level the fireball was. I do not know if it hit the tree, or if the chunk out of the tree is from the fireball, or if it hit the power line, but I know it hit something and vanished. There is much more I could say, but I'm going to leave it at this for now. Okay. Um, I'm gonna check to see what the chunk hit. Is there fireball pieces laying in the grass? I don't know. I would go and check it out. Okay. In starting off this new year right, I am using this week to reflect on some inspirational stories of miracles and angels. Again, I don't read these in advance. These are people's stories, and I'm just picking them at random. This first story is called Prediction in My Dream. I totally believe in my angel. On the 12th of November night, I was praying to my angel to connect with me in my dream, as usual. That night, I saw lots of dreams, which I don't remember, but I woke up by a male voice, and only thing I remember was he was saying, "Earthquake between 4 and 5." His words strike me a lot, but I was confused that 4 to 5 he means was the time or on the Richter scale, and to my surprise, on the 14th my husband called me around 2 p.m. and asked me that if I had felt the shake that morning around 5 a.m., and that it was 5 on the Richter scale. Boom, boom, boom. The next story is called Encounters of Divine Protection. Since I was a young kid, I've never had any doubt that my guardian angel protects me whenever I need protection. That's how I've lived and prayed through my encounters of divine protection and safekeeping. Today, I'm a semi-retired veterinarian belonging to our local Guardian Angels group. Developed type 1 diabetes in 1967. Now a happy 66 years old with a lot of faith that Jesus, with all his love, will always carry me until he needs me at the next level. Bless you all with God's grace and all overpowering love. Okay, I'm just reading these stories. Next one. Who is my angel? That's what it's called. I have several angels and see them each in different ways. My father is rainbows. My grandmother is butterflies. There are orbs and pictures. I know they are there when I photo them. They are red and often in shapes of angels. I have been told I have 5. One day I took my very sick dog to the vet. We were at a stoplight and was on my lap getting hugs and love for his day, which was tough on my dog. Our light turned green and I began to accelerate, and my dog, his name is Who, coughed and lost his breath. I immediately stopped and looked down at him in fear I'd have to run him back inside to the vet. In seconds, a truck sped through the red light with lightning speed, rocking my SUV, and that would have been the end of us. My mouth was open and I gasped. And Who looked at me. And Who is blind. And I said, "Wow! Who, you saved my life with your little cough." And he laid his face on my arm as if to thank me for saving his. He is now one of my angels, near to my heart and at my feet right now. That's just beautiful. This next one is called We Both Knew Who He Was. It happened at Talze Devi Jungle, Pune. We knew we were lost. Both of us had almost decided that might be we will have to spend the rest of the night at the jungle. Oh, that just sounds like a bad nightmare. But suddenly from somewhere a man appeared. His looks were serene in spite of meeting him at that day of the hour in a jungle. Not even for once did we get scared of him. He looked so peaceful. Such serenity on his face, and his hands were to his knees, just like Sa Baba. And as we followed him, myself and my friend stared at each other. We both knew that either he is an angel of a man sent by an angel for our help. And one of the signals to know if you have had an angel encounter is if the person along with you also is enlightened about it, and certainly my friend was. We are so sure that never again in our lives we are going to meet or see that man. I'm sure he wasn't a common man because nobody comes for a walk in that area at 7:30 when it's getting pitch dark, and he knew the road which nobody else would know. Oh, that's cool. Angels in backyard. Taking picture in my backyard 1.5 years ago, I looked to see how the pics appeared at present and found that a great awesome cloud came down my alley and 3 UFOs shaped like pyramids were in my backyard. 3 men wearing silver suits and silver cone-shaped hats advanced from the UFOs towards me. The one closest to me, about 8 feet, had a great smile and reached out as if he was going to hug me. He looked as common as any man except for his silver suit. I was overwhelmed with excitement and surprise. Being new to photography, the photos were lost when downloading them to the computer. Come on! Come on! The message error said something about my space on memory card was used up so that I could not transfer pics to it. This was extremely frustrating. Nevertheless, the experience shores up other encounters with the kingdom of God in various visions. Huh? I'm frustrated in hearing that story. I just. Oh, okay. Alrighty. Next angel story. All right, my daughter's angels. I have a daughter who is permanently disabled and who had open heart surgery when she was only 3 months old, and we were told when she was being prepped for surgery that we shouldn't do it and that her prognosis wasn't good and that they would make her as comfortable as possible till she passed. Obviously, we didn't do that, and now she is simply amazing. Since the surgery, we have been stopped 4 times in the last year, all by different people who have said they see angels all around her, and I 100% believe it. God gave me a daughter for a reason, and I am grateful for the angels who always take care of her. I just thought that after 4 different people, I don't know how come up to me and my wife stating there are angels all around my daughter, that they must be onto something. God is amazing. The next inspirational story. Clear sign. Hi, yesterday I just asked into nowhere really. Please just give me a sign on what to do. I want to relocate from Ireland to Spain, but was not sure if I should go for it or not. The next day I was looking through one of my many handbags and I just put my hand in to grab some coins out of it. Suddenly I found myself with a silver ring in my hand with a cent coin stuck in the middle of the ring. The story behind all of this is the ring is very important to me. I got it from a boy on my very first holiday in Spain when I fell in love with the country, and I thought I had lost the ring forever. Searched everywhere but could not find it, and the coin in the middle had the Irish harp on it. So it's Spain, Ireland. Although I am confused as it is Spain, Ireland, really. But I still believe this is my own personal sign to change my life. Now, what are the odds of that? Okay, the next story. I'll never leave you nor forsake you. At the age of 15 years old, I was riding my four-wheeler. I found myself being a boy when I tried to climb a hill with my four-wheeler all by myself with no one there if I were to wreck. As I got to the top of the hill, my front tire came up a rock in the trail. My four-wheeler began to flip back, and I had already felt the point of feeling helpless at gaining control as the front end was pointing toward the sky. Ooh. At that point, I knew I was in trouble. Then, at an instant, I felt a hand of force catch me and drove me forward with so much force I thought that I was going to go over the front of the four-wheeler as it hit the ground. from that day forward, I vowed to never try to climb that hill again. I am now 28 years old and a preacher for Christ. Thank God for that unseen hand that watches us each and every day. Wow, that was an inspiring one. Well, I want to thank you all for listening to UFO Headline News with me, Heidi Hollis. Be sure to check out UFOHeadlineNews.com every single day, where you can find links to the stories I just read and the images. And also tune into my other...
The Starlight Lounge presents An Evening with the Progressive Box.
Heart. I took a bit of a risk singing that song, but of course the one place I never take chances is the road, where Progressive Snapshot rewards your safe driving. A good driver plus Snapshot equals big discounts. And speaking of math, 1 + 1 = 2, little too late.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California, North Carolina, or from all agents.
Weekly shows. I host Heidi Hollis's The Outlander Show every Friday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and I co-host on The Kevin Cook Show every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and catch my paranormal comic strip, The Outlanders, theoutlanderscomic.com, and direct links to everything I'm mentioning here can be found at HeidiHollis.com, or just go to InceptionRadioNetwork.com. If you've experienced something out of the ordinary and want some level-headed advice, or if you've seen a UFO and want to share, just write me through HeidiHollis.com or my email, dusoutlander@gmail.com. Remember always to keep an open mind so you can stay informed and inspired.